Very good evening to you, Ghana. This is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy, and tonight, the story of a beautiful young woman, happily married with 2 children. Now, I do not know if there is something called spiritual murder or not, but the story is quite an interesting one. Before I bring in my guest and my studio audience to ask the questions, and share your opinions with us, I would want to give you the quote of the night. And it says, do not seek revenge because the karma bus is always on time. Do not seek revenge because the karma bus is always on time. My name is Miss Nancy. This is Confessions. I will be right back. I sit without judgment on this confession booth, and a young lady comes to me, beautiful, intelligent, happily married with 2 children. She says, with my lips sealed and my ears wide open, I should listen to her confessions. I sit as your confessor. My name is Miss Nancy, and this is Confessions on TV3. You are welcome, my lady.
Thank you.
The name would be?
Yeah.
Simply, yeah. Yeah is a Thursday born.
Yes, please.
Great. So, yeah, my lips are sealed. My ears are wide open. Tell me your confession.
I don't know where to start this issue from. I don't know. We've been married. This year will be our 4th year.
4 years.
We have 2 kids, but the problem is my in-law, my mother-in-law.
Okay.
She's been a huge setback in our marriage. She doesn't live here in Ghana, but the past few months she's been back, and it's been one issue to the other. It's not been easy. Everything I do, she complains. Even the way I cook, the way I take care of my children, the way I take care of my husband, he has an opinion
about everything.
And she's been a huge problem. Even before we got married, she didn't approve of our relationship.
Okay.
It was a struggle. But because my husband really loves me, we went ahead and got married. And it's not been easy.
Right now, what is the confession?
Miss Nancy, I've been praying about how she behaves since she got back. And so the pastor gave me something and asked me to pray, you know, and sprinkle it all over the house.
Okay.
For 7 days, which
is he a prophet? Or a pastor?
Yes.
He's a prophet
and a pastor.
Okay,
yes.
so
he told me after some time, like a month, I would see the results. 2 weeks ago, I actually witnessed the results. My mother-in-law, as I speak to you right now, is bedridden and can't do anything.
My goodness.
She can't move a muscle. And it's been another huge problem because right now, the reason why I've been praying for her to, you know, probably go back. Now, the issue has doubled, Miss Nancy. She's not.
Your prayers were that she would go back to where she came from.
So
you can have your husband and your home to yourself.
Yes,
and now she is sick?
Yes. Whenever she comes, there's problem. All attention is on her. And so I couldn't take it anymore. And I had to pray and
I mean, praying for somebody to go back to where they came from is not exactly bad news. But why do you feel that it is your akwantre that has made her sick and bedridden? Have you taken her to the hospital? What did the doctor say?
We actually did. Because of that, we can't do anything in the house, and it's affected our finances because she's bedridden, and anything she needs, you have to be there. I can't even work. And I'm taking care of her and the kids and everything. So it's been a problem, and right now I don't even know if I should tell
you
my
are
husband.
confident that
Yes.
that Kwantre is what has brought her
Yes.
to that situation.
He specifically told me when this would happen.
And
it
it's within
happened
the period.
Exactly, and I honestly don't know what to do. I'm even scared that should she pass away, I might be held responsible because I don't even know what to tell. Exactly. I don't even know if I should tell my husband about this. I don't know. It could end our marriage too.
Oh. I told you that in the confession booth, my ears are wide opened, but my lips are sealed. But there are people with very great suggestions as to how to deal with this one. Is she sure that her Kwantre actually worked? Or it's just a coincidence that her mother-in-law gets to be bedridden at a time where her Kwantre was supposed to have been affected? How does she get on? If she dies, does it mean that she's a murderer? When somebody kills you spiritually, I mean, is there anything of the sort? I mean, tonight is one big conversation, but we would have the great conversation with very right people, fine gentlemen who knows a lot about the spirituality, and he will help us solve this problem. And we will see how we can help Ya in this situation. Ya, keep calm. This is Confessions. We will fix you.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I am seated right here in the studio, and I'm glad to have you. Tonight, I need to know your opinions about the confession we just heard. The woman is not dead yet. So apparently, she's not a spiritual murderer yet. How do we even say that she's the one that has caused the woman's illness or not? How do we know this? I mean, it is an interesting story. When your mother-in-law is meddling unhealthily and you kind of feel that you are competing with your partner's mother. Yes, you want to talk? Yes. And your name?
Shasha Banks.
Shasha?
Yes, please. And I feel what she did wasn't wise because you can't compete with your mother-in-law. And I'm sure she knew the kind of person she was before getting married to the guy.
But at the time, she was out of the country, so it made her feel secure.
Oh, even if she's out, she'll still be calling and then be giving orders. If she's that type, she'll still be calling and be giving orders. So I don't think, and she's not coming to stay there forever. So just let peace reign.
She should have endured.
Yes.
I mean, she was praying. I mean, everybody is excited
and then you
to
go
pray.
And then sprinkle
We're encouraged to pray about everything and nothing, right?
I believe she put sand in her own sugar. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but I have a question. What did the prophet really tell her? I mean,
so Ya is still in the confession booth, and Ya, did you hear the question?
Yes, please.
So, what did the prophet tell you?
He asked me to sprinkle the liquid all over the house and pray every dawn for 7 days.
And you did exactly that.
And what will happen afterwards?
He told me I'll see the result and that whoever is against my marriage would have their own share of whatever it is that they are doing. So I just did as he told me, and I prayed.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Is that all?
Yes, I just want to get that clarification well because because she said she was praying for her to leave.
Yes.
All right.
She was praying for peace basically in her home.
Not
there
for
was
the woman to
too
leave.
much chaos, and if she's the one that brought the chaos, she should go along with it, right?
Okay. All right.
Yes, my lady.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Akins Letitia Khadija.
Hi, Letitia.
Based on what the question the gentleman asked and looking at the nature of the story, I think that the prophet or the pastor actually played on her emotions psychologically because he knew that the mother-in-law actually is the problem. So it might not be that it is because of the stuff he or she sprinkled in the house that made the mother-in-law fall sick on all that. I mean, it's just coincidence. Maybe she was already going to fall sick. We can't really cheat nature or uneventualities, actually. So I think that it was just a play of psychology and just by coincidence. So I don't believe that it is the prayer or stuff that was sprinkled in the house that actually made the in-law fall sick. Yeah.
Now, Letitia says that it may not necessarily be that she prayed and she had a quantre and then her mother-in-law got sick. She thinks that it could be just one of those unforeseen contingencies that happens in life. People, this is Confessions on TV3 to help us, get a better understanding of issues like this in your home or mine and how we should deal with such issues. Is Osofo Kojo Bensel. He is a spiritualist, a man I have listened to, and I've loved his teachings. Let us welcome him. Please, have a seat. You are welcome.
Thank you. You look beautiful, by the way.
Do I? Thank you.
Thanks for bringing me in.
Indeed, I have watched you, and I was excited about your content. So, it is a confession we have tonight, and a woman who feels responsible for her mother-in-law's sickness because of some aquantre. Let's take a look.
I don't know where to start this issue from. I don't know. We've been married. This year will be our 4th year.
4 years.
We have 2 kids, but the problem is my in-law, my mother-in-law.
Okay.
She's been a huge setback in our marriage. She doesn't live here in Ghana, but the past few months she's been back and it's been one issue to the other. It's not been easy. Miss Nancy, I've been praying about how she behaves since she got back. And so the pastor gave me something and asked me to pray, and sprinkle it all over the house.
Okay.
For 7 days, which
is he a prophet or a pastor?
Yes.
He's a prophet
and a pastor.
Okay,
yes.
so
he told me after some time, like a month, I would see the results. 2 weeks ago, I actually witnessed the results. My mother-in-law, as I speak to you right now, is bedridden and can't do anything.
My goodness.
She can't move a muscle.
Is it possible that actually an aquantre could cause somebody to be ill? This and more. Osofo, you are welcome.
Thank you.
People, show him some love. Thank you. So if I were to have you introduce yourself, who would you say you are?
I'm Osofo Kojo Bensel, leader of MECRA. It's a non-profit organization, a community-based.
Okay.
Yes, and we're just basically building ourselves as people.
Building ourselves as people, MECRA. Yes, and you brought me something, right?
Yeah, I brought you a gift. It's called a power stick.
Like the one you're holding?
Like what I'm holding.
Wow.
It's a protection stick.
It's
a power stick, so wherever you go, wherever you walk to, it breaks whatever
energy. Can I touch it?
Yeah, sure.
This is my power stick.
Yes.
Yours is bigger than mine. People, this is my power stick. I am in charge right here on TV3. Beautiful.
There are some rules and regulations to it. So
there are. Tumidria, it is called. Thank you. So now you know that we brought the right person for this conversation. A man who knows about spirituality. A man himself who has been a pastor.
Yes, I was a pastor. Back in the days.
So listening to this young lady's confession, let me ask of you, is it possible that a man of God, a pastor prophet, would give an aquantre that would actually cause somebody sickness or not?
First of all, everything is possible regardless of where you look at it. So the prophet that they went to or she went to, there's a possibility that the prophet did something without necessarily letting her know the details of what the prophet did, but gave her stuff to use at the end of the day. But there are so many levels to this, and she handled it right from the beginning very wrong.
Okay.
In the sense that even before you went into the marriage, there were certain things that you were supposed to inquire about.
Okay, like what?
In our language, we say, "Wokwa waria bisa."
Bisa.
When you are going into a marriage act, you need to know the family that you're going into. You need to know the man that you're going into. You need to know the parents.
Like if he's a mommy's boy who does the bidding of his mom and
exactly. And I heard the name, she's Ya.
Yes, she
you
is
being
Ya.
a Ya, there are certain men you're not even supposed to date.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there are things that you basically have
These
to
are all spiritual rules.
These are physical rules. Just because you're born on a particular day, there are certain days that you should not be partners with.
Which men should I avoid?
So you should never be date a Friday born.
Okay.
You should not date a Thursday born.
Okay, so that's Kofi and Thursday is Yao.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I... Now I know whom to avoid.
And if you're a jealous person, never date a Sunday born.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Sunday bonds, eh?
Yeah,
especially
because
the men.
women draw to them. So
Sunday bonds,
yeah.
Dakwesi?
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've not been playing around those.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
And there are certain days that naturally becomes the mama's boy. So what you are
like
looking...
Like what days?
Like Saturdays.
The Saturday
Yeah.
Kwame.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this explains a
If
lot.
you know a lot of Kwames, they're usually mama's boys. There are very few, except he is a Saturday born, and it's an air element, which automatically will let him display a bit of intelligence, so he will draw a bit away from a mama's boy. But if it's a Saturday and an earth element, definitely a mama's boy.
Well, that is some information, right? Yeah. Give it up, give it up, give it up. So all of these things are the things that a person should know before they get into the marriage.
Exactly.
Now she's in the marriage. She found a mother-in-law who wants to meddle. Is there something that binds mothers to their children naturally such that they're unable to let them go even when they say that they should leave and cleave?
I mean, that is a mother. What do you expect? She carried him for 9 months in the womb, brought him up all the way. I don't know what age they got to marry. So imagine you growing a young man to about 30, 35, 37 years, and you come in and you want to take over. Just like that. I mean, it's not going to happen. So depending on the bond even between the mother and the son, and like I said, if it's a Saturday born, automatically he would be a mama's boy. So there are things that you just can't distract. That is why the churches, when they are going to the counseling, they have to really educate the people coming into the marriage in the first day before they go into it.
You have a question.
Yes, I wanted to...
Your name first?
Sorry, my name is Claudio on the margins. You can call me Claudio.
Hi, Claudio.
I said, one thing I love about Mr. Bento.
Kojo Bento.
Kojo Bento, Kojo B, yeah. It's something exciting. The beginning of the courting and the marriage is important. There's something I've identified, IQ and AQ. Intelligence quotient, just what being intelligence and adversity quotient.
Yeah.
How
do you deal with it?
When you were learning about the guy and learning about the mother, the question is, I pray, like Mr. Bentel is saying, sometimes you need a psychological counseling besides the pastoral thing you do. Because as a pastor, I don't per se, worry. But the question is, if you had gone for a psychologist or a psychiatrist to check wangasa or fariba, can you handle certain pressures?
Your temperament,
if my
your nature.
mother-in-law is insisting on this and this, wait to me and who can start? I believe I'm an advocate for it. I'm praying. People like Pastor Bentel and yourself on Confessions, we advocate for this. And you be your frame and your assessing say we check cope compatibility, but also adversity. Say bar, can you handle it? It's very important.
Thank you. That is a good one. Back to Kojo. I mean, we need to look at this conversation very, very critically. So this woman says that I went to a pastor. With what kind of power from Jesus Christ? Because everybody here is a pastor. Pray in the name of Jesus. Seal it with the blood of Jesus. Which part of the blood of Jesus can cause somebody to be bedridden because he is so much into the life of his her own son?
That's why you should question if this is even Jesus to begin with. Because what kind of Jesus would want to see the mother-in-law paralyzed? It doesn't even make sense. So, like I said, she's in a situation now.
Yes.
What she has to do is to inquire what actually caused the mother-in-law's demise.
Yes.
That's what we call...
The woman is not dead yet.
Yeah, so you should inquire. You find out now. Don't even wait.
Wait
find
for
out
her.
what is causing this. Is it what I did that is causing her to be this way, or is something she even brought in the family. You don't even know where she's coming from. You don't even know the relationship she has with the person. You don't know arguments she has, fights she has with people,
externally,
family members. You don't know all these things. So you should inquire to know where this particular thing is coming from before you even condemn yourself.
Yes, take responsibility.
Yeah.
So for all you know, it couldn't be.
It's coincidental.
Now, if it is her own doing, is there a way we can go back, retract, take
Definitely.
it back?
We can definitely resolve it.
Okay. How in situations like
I said,
this?
you inquire, you know exactly where it's coming from.
Well, the Inquisition, where
It's
do we go?
called divination.
The same pastor?
No, not the pastor. We call something afa.
Afa?
Yes.
From where?
From our traditions, our fathers.
Okay.
There's an intelligence that this generation we are walking away from, which is really, really dangerous. I think if somebody is leading you into something and this is somebody you look up to, the person should tell you the nitty-gritties of exactly what you're walking into.
So you go to a church and, for instance, the pastor is not only using the name of Jesus and the blood of Jesus and there is something else, the pastor should be able to tell you that I've got other backings, right?
Exactly. They should tell you, but most of these pastors are not saying these things. Like if you come to, I'll tell you I use afa, divination, because I have to inquire to know exactly what this is and where this is coming from. Once I know, Ifa or Afa will tell us that, okay, this situation, do this to resolve it, and it will be resolved.
So there are ways and means of, getting these things done.
Yeah, is that
and they are
easy?
effective.
Very effective.
Without prayer,
No,
without fasting for 40 days.
I mean, she prayed, and what happened? She's been praying all this while, and what was the result? So my thing is, let's take the right steps, inquire the right ways to find out what we can do, because now you have to do something. I was listening to it, and she said that I was trying to get rid of my mother-in-law. Yes. Now, what you've gotten yourself involved in is actually get her involved.
Compounded
in
your problem.
Because now, whatever relationship that was between the son and the mother is going to double up.
Yes, because now she's sick.
She's sick.
And in need of him.
Now she can never do wrong. Because whatever she does, the son will go, don't you know my mother is sick? Don't you know? So now she can never do wrong. Now you're in double fire.
She is. She is. About mother-in-laws and parents managing themselves. I mean, how far can you go with your own son? As in a man, your son, but he is now a man and a husband to somebody and a father to another. Shouldn't you accord them the respect that they are mature and they are in charge of their lives and they can handle themselves instead?
That's what a lot of people don't know. We choose our parents. Our parents don't choose us.
We choose our parents?
Yes.
Did I choose my dad?
Yeah, you chose your parents.
I mean, my dad and my mom.
You chose your parents.
No, they met. I was not there.
You chose them.
They were doing their things I didn't see.
No, because you knew the combination of your mom and your dad would make you who you are now. And you needed this physicality to be able to do what you're supposed to do here in this dimension. So the son chose the mother. The thing we do is that we feel because I gave birth to you, I'm older than you, I know better than you know. The son needed the mother to be who she is for him to be who he's supposed to be in this dimension.
Well, that is another one.
Yeah. So if you have a situation where the son chose the mother, it means that whatever relationship the son has with the mother, that's what the son needed for him to be who he is. Now you met him, you fell in love with him. You never asked the question, what made him who he is today?
Yes.
You're only seeing the final product, but you're not asking the questions. What is behind this man that I'm in love with? So he needs the mother to be who he is. How are you going to change that? The minute you change that, you change him. When he changes, you say, oh, the man I married is not the same man again. Because you've changed certain things about a man. What do you expect?
This is Confessions on TV3. A young woman is feeling responsible for her mother-in-law's sickness because she went to seek aquantre. And we are still discussing, should she hold herself responsible? Are there ways around it for her to know if she's the cause or not? Should she come clean and tell her husband that, listen, your mom was in my way, so I tried to clear her. And now I'm sorry for trying to clear her? Confessions on TV3. We'll be right back. This is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy. The conversation gets even more exciting from now. So, if this woman dies eventually, is this lady going to be responsible? Because as far as she's concerned, she went to church to pray in the name of Jesus, to live with the blood of Jesus, and something happened. Like you're saying, supposedly there is something beyond the name of Jesus and the power of Jesus that the pastor applied. Can she be responsible for the death? Or is the man behind the power takes responsibility for it?
I said something earlier that as soon as possible, we should check exactly where that is coming from. But if it's a situation where, because she went to the prophet, this has happened, then definitely she's responsible. Because if she never went to the prophet, this wouldn't have happened. And one thing we should also understand is that when you die, all knowledge comes to you. So the mother-in-law would know
that you killed me.
And if they should ever, or a family member should also go and inquire, the truth will come out that you did it.
So these things actually exist?
Yeah, for sure.
Did somebody pass us and you get to know how and why?
Yeah, because we don't die. You're only shedding your physical body. We don't die. Nobody dies. It's just a physical body. Just as you picked up, your physical body is basically made of food. The accumulation of food, drinks.
My banku,
this is what is from your physical body.
This is all that it is.
So your physical body is not spiritual. It came from the Mother Earth, and it's definitely going back to the Mother Earth.
So, yes, the body goes to the earth, and then the rest goes where?
It continues in the next life. Evolution, we keep changing, we keep evolving.
We keep changing, we keep evolving. Yes, somebody had a question? Ajua?
Please, I want to ask Ya if she has been able to tell the prophet about the outcome of the in-laws' condition and maybe the response from the prophet.
From the prophet.
Yes, because that can work. With this one, he can knows what to do next.
Yeah.
Maybe the prophet is not responsible for it.
Yeah, interestingly, you just go back to the prophet and say, Prophet, I wanted her out of Ghana, not out of this life. Also, for whatever it is you have done, can you take it back for me?
The prophet cannot reverse it.
He can't. Whoa. Yeah. Are you there, yeah?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Still in the confession booth. Have you tried to reach out to the prophet who gave you the direction? Or you went to give a Thanksgiving offering after she got sick?
I did. Immediately I saw the outcome because it was beyond what I was expecting. Because right now, it's like the issue that I was trying to avoid, get her to go. She's bedridden, and
she's stuck with you.
He told me specifically that this was what we prayed for. And I said, yes, but I didn't want it this way. But I don't even know.
I'm sure if she wanted a death, she would have wanted a show death, not a
That's
slow
what I'm
one.
saying. The prophet cannot do anything about it because if he could, he should have reversed it by now. She should be walking by now. You understand? So, but there are a lot of ifs and maybes and buts hanging in the air. So what we have to do is actually to find out where this is coming from. Once we know where this is coming from, we can resolve it.
Yeah, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, would you want to reverse it? Would you want to take it back? Would you want your mother-in-law to get well and go out of the country so that you can have your husband to yourself? Or when she gets well, you will understand that she's a part of her mother and can never be detached. So you will live with both of them as you're supposed to till death.
Because Yah also has children, right?
Yes.
What would happen to her if somebody else wants to take her son from her?
Well, we are not trying to take your son away from you, per se. We're just trying to make him our husband.
Yeah,
I
by
mean,
making
women feel like
him
that.
your husband, taking away the mother.
We just need him to stop being a son for a moment.
You want the mother to stay in the U.S.?
Yes.
And not come to her own country?
No, I mean, not as often because she's trouble. I mean, she's not warmly welcome. Yeah, come and see us. Spend 1 week whilst the energy is still high. We've missed you. And then you go back.
There are ways that she could
has outlived her welcome, overstayed.
There are ways that she could have easily also done that to let the mother only come in when necessary and when not.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you still there?
I'm here.
I need to get to the bottom of this. if we, Osofo says he will give you an akwantre, that would have you reverse it if you are the one responsible.
I am not the one giving akwantre. Afa is giving akwantre.
Afa is?
The divination.
Okay, is the deity behind
the divination.
The divination.
Yeah.
Thank you, Afa, for giving us this divination. So Afa is giving you that divination. Would you do it?
Miss Nancy, my problem is, even if I do it and she gets well, she's who she is. She's
But can you imagine? You never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
One thing about sicknesses is that it takes a toll on a lot of people.
Yes.
And a lot of people go through so many changes once they recover from certain situations. Like I said, we also need to know why the mother-in-law is suffering what she's suffering.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that if she had no sin, if she had nothing bad on her, even this curse wouldn't have worked?
No.
Even when she was wrong in coming to meddle in her...
Technically, how is she wrong? You understand? If she did something to Yah, which was evil, then Yah has a cause to use that instant against her.
Yes.
But we need to ask ourselves the question, what did she do to her that demanded her to be in this position? But what I'm saying is that as a human being, you have to learn to protect yourself, build yourself up, bring yourself to this place that no matter what anybody does, it will never touch you.
Whether you are wrong or not.
Whether you're wrong or not.
You can build yourself up to that extent.
But the gods will deal with you if you're wrong. But human beings cannot touch you.
That's a good one. The gods will deal with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, human beings can change their minds. I don't know about the gods, though. I would rather...
No, the gods will deal with you.
Which one should I choose? Human beings are wicked.
All wickedness are coming from man, not from the gods. The gods are never wicked. The gods do never kill. This is why I know that this prophet is wicked. If he did it, because it's definitely coming from him. His energies is what went after the woman, not any god.
Okay, wonderful. Let me have you.
Yeah, my name is James Clark.
Hi,
James. Call me
Alafia.
Alafia.
Yeah. Good to have you again.
First of all, I want to say the woman, Amma, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah is a witch. Because you can't get into marriage and first of all say you want your mother-in-law to stay away from the son. When they are getting married, they don't even think of the family, the standard family.
That's the thing.
The mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the siblings of the man or the lady.
Looks like people do not think that they marry into families anymore.
Yes.
They just marry individuals.
Because we met at the nightclub or met at the church or something. So they even take the pastor more than anything. Yeah. Why do you go to a pastor and tell him, my mother-in-law is getting so much involved in my family affairs, so help me?
Is that even Christian? Let me ask Osofo. From you have been a pastor before.
Yeah.
Is this gospel that I come to you and say that this person is after me, so clear the person? Is that Christian? Is it part of the Christian values?
Why would Yah have this mindset? Yah would only have this mindset because this is the mindset that is being taught in the church. You understand? That's a programming she has in the church. So to her, in her church, she feels it's okay to do that, because if you're a pastor and you never encourage such thing in your congregation, not the single member of your congregation will come to you and say, I want you to do this.
So they come there per the messages they have heard.
Exactly.
The information being given.
Because she's sure that the pastor probably boasts in the church that I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So she went there. And my brother said something that she is a witch. We are witches and wizards, by the way.
Are we?
Yeah.
Looks like you're a bigger wizard than I.
There are levels.
I'm a minor witch, right?
What we call witch is basically your own being, your kra.
Okra.
Your kra can be able to travel anywhere and know anything even before you know it. When there are some certain instances that we have around in our societies that somebody can be so aggressive, or a young lady can be so wild, they say, hey, we are before, we the BBI, everything you go and do it.
Yeah.
Right? They are only saying it because you have the ability to do something. You have that confidence, that courage.
Goal-getting ability.
Exactly. So it's just your kra. So the performances of your cry is what this is a higher person than this other person. That's basically what it is.
Wonderful. You are either a witch or a wizard.
Because the
That
tree,
is what?
sorry to cut, the tree says beye, right?
Beye.
I did not ba beye. That's basically what it is.
A beye, not necessarily a bad word. So people, let us go on the streets and listen to what people have to say about this young woman going to church to get a quancher to fix her mother-in-law who was in her way. What did the streets have to say? Let's take a look.
So to me, what the woman did was wrong. She shouldn't have gone for medicines and all those things because she need to have patience. Yeah, now that the person is injured, she should just confess to the family and they will find a way out. That's all.
Hey, Bibi said, dear. Well, our advice said the lady should go and confess to the family members so that they can seek solution to whatever is happening, and then they can also go and see the pastor and talk to him about the current situation and all that. I think they can get solutions from that.
What the lady did wasn't right. So now the best decision I can, or the best advice I can give her is to see her husband's family and tell them what has happened so they can find a quick solution to that. Yeah.
This is what the streets had to say to Ya, who went seeking for help to clear her mother-in-law. We're back in the studios and hi. Are you here? Yeah, you are. Thank you. Was there somebody that had a question before we went on the break? Please, go ahead.
My name is Harry.
Hi, Harry.
I want to ask you that, is she telling the truth? Is the problem coming from her or coming from the mother-in-law?
Okay.
You understand? Because she's only talking about the mother-in-law, but we don't know what she is also doing to piss the woman off.
Thank you. That's a good one. Yeah, are you still there?
I'm here, Miss Nancy. I'm here.
Would you grade yourself as the best daughter-in-law?
I don't even know. I've done all that I'm supposed to do. I've done all that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
whenever she's back, we make her feel comfortable. All that she needs, we make sure we give it to her. And I've always been there for her.
You have.
She just doesn't like me. But we did our best so that she would feel comfortable. She's been a thorn in my flesh. She's been a thorn in my flesh. She's interfered so much with our marriage. I don't even know what to do anymore. I was just
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you feel loved and adored by your husband?
Well, he does his best until she
Is
comes
it
around.
enough?
It's like,
so you see,
when she comes around,
until she comes around,
everything. She comments about everything, even clothes that I wear for my children. She has something to say. She has something to say about everything.
You have a question? Yes? A contribution. Go ahead, my lady.
Okay,
your name first.
My name is Esther Nakokwe Ayi.
Hi, Esther.
For me, I think this situation is very deep. The guilt she's feeling, the burden she's feeling, it could have been avoided. You know, the Bible makes us understand that faith without works is dead. Fine, you were praying. That's a good one. But then what were you doing to work towards your prayer? I'm not down playing, going to pastors.
Yeah.
That is not a wrong thing to do. But did you start solving the problem at home
getting
too?
her mother-in-law on her good side?
You said your husband, when she was giving her confession, she said, my husband loved me, so went ahead to marry me.
Yes.
So the love is there. Did you communicate with your husband concerning how you were feeling about your mother-in-law's treatment? Have you spoken to your mother-in-law in a respectful manner that I do appreciate you, but then some of the pressure coming in, I can't take it. Could you calm down for me? Let's liaise and then make the home a better place.
So for you, she should have put in some physical work.
Yes,
some attitude work, communication.
Yes, she's working towards her feet, not just going. And then
praying.
Exactly. And
Wonderful.
then I feel like she doesn't like to share because
she's quite
your
possessive.
husband gives you attention till your mother comes in.
Yeah.
So what? Fine, she comes around. Just share the attention for the period she's with you at home. She would eventually leave, and you'd have your husband to yourself.
That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Osafo, the love we feel for our parents and the ones we feel for our partners, are they the same?
Love is basically a mind thing. It's just your mind. It's thoughts and emotions. So it's not really something that is there that we say, I have love.
So for what do you mean? So all the love I've been feeling is not there. I've been creating it myself.
It's as a result of what you see. Because if you never see the person, you can never love the person. It's physical. Because you see the person, because of what the person does, because of what yourself, the programming that you have, as to what qualifies to be a right guy in your life, is the reason why you are going in. So as a matter of fact, you think you love the person, but you love yourself. You don't really love the person. Because you love you.
Because I love me, so I'm looking for what is good for me.
For you. So it's not necessarily, because once you go in and the person is not doing the things that you feel is good for you, all of a sudden you have problems with him.
Love is a decision, not a feeling. Yes. Your name and your contribution.
Jojo.
Hi, Jojo.
So, yeah, I have a contribution too, which is in this whole situation, I blame the Sopho or the prophet. I believe he's the big reason.
Wait, you're not blaming me,
story.
right?
No, not you. I mean, the prophet, the prophet that gave the direction, because I feel even at the point when Yah came to him, as a prophet, he should have advised or given her the advice to go back and fix things with the mother-in-law instead of doing things that will kill the woman or something. But then, even if you can't advise her to go back and make peace with the mother-in-law, why not pray rather for them to bond rather than taking her away? So I blame her in the situation. And like Osofo said as well, spirits don't kill or gods don't kill. So I think in this situation, human beings kill. Like the gods do what human beings want. So the God in this case is doing what Osofo asked him or her to do. So I blame the Osofo in the situation.
But if the prophet advised, then the money won't come in.
Okay. Okay, because it is the Akwanshe that would make her give.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful. Yes, there was another person that has. Yes, my
yes.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm Daniel Esman Kweku.
Hi. Yeah.
Yes. All the submissions that have been given is very amazing and then very insightful. But there is something that I would like to say and then also follow up with a question. What Miss Yah was going through, first of all, could be avoidable if the appropriate measures and then the preliminary actions to enter into a relationship where marriage is taken, this whole thing could have been avoidable. And then number two, one thing that we should also understand is that, as Osofo Bento said, is that marriage is not love, because love fluctuates. With time, maybe it could have been the boobs or the bottles or something that was, bringing that energies within you for you to, fall in love with that person. But with time, it grows and then it wrinkles.
We have been maintaining them these days. Yeah, we do a lot.
But no matter what happens along the line,
eventually, it goes
the round ball will then tend to a slipper, one way or the other.
Yes.
Yes. So it's not about feeling; it's a decision.
Indeed.
But interestingly, what I would like to say is that our dear brother said something very remarkable, that when you get married, you marry the entire family. So I would like to find out and then ask a question that when the Bible said that a man will leave the mother and then the father and cleave, in what tense or in what context was the Bible trying to say? Because I believe that in every marriage, what will make it work is that you need to have an emotional emancipation about what you are entering and then make sure that most of the emotional ties are off from the families. So I'd like to find out in that context what was trying to...
I will take this break. When we come back, we get to know if it's ideal for man to actually live and cleave and what living and cleaving in the Bible actually means. If it's even good for a mother-in-law, father-in-law, any in-law to be in the home of a newly married couple. We'll be right back. Thank you. You are welcome back. And let us try to answer the question we had before we went on the break. If what exactly does it mean to live and cleave?
It always also go back to what I've been saying since I've been here. It's that you as an individual, you need to know who you are and why you are here. The truth of the matter is you are not here for your parent, neither are you here for your husband or you're here for your wife. You are here for you as an individual becoming who you are meant to be here in this dimension. As you go along, those who can assist in bringing the true you out will naturally tag along if you do the right things coming along, right? So it's not necessarily who you are cleaving to or who you are departing from, but it's where you are going as an individual and what you're supposed to do here in this realm. This is what we don't consider, most of us, because we are into the system where it's constantly telling us a man has to grow, get a job, get married, leave the house, give birth, and then that's what everybody else is doing. But if you are to be that being that you came here to manifest yourself to be, then it doesn't matter if your mom is supposed to play a role in you becoming who you're supposed to be, then your mom would always be in your life. If your father is supposed to play a role in who you're supposed to be, your father would always be in your life.
I thought I was getting an applause. Wonderful. So depending on what the person is supposed to achieve, who the person is, it is. Whoa.
Like, let me take this popular thing. Somebody like Burna Boy. We all know Burna Boy, right? Who is the manager?
The mom.
The mother. Why is the mother still in her life? Because the mom is supposed to be who she is. So before Burna Boy came into this realm, Burna Boy knew that this is the mother that can help me become who I need to become. So in this situation, how do you come into his life and want him to go away?
take his mom out. That is it. That is it. So about living with your in-laws.
Yeah.
Is it ideal?
It all depends on the individual at the end of the day, because somebody can come into a family and the mother-in-law can be the best friend, the mother that they never had.
I've seen a family like that.
And then some also can come in and it will be a show like what we are witnessing today.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the individual and your relationship with whoever is coming around. But first, know yourself. Once you know yourself, you will know how to deal with everybody that comes around you.
Awesome. Yes, you.
So my name is Abednego. You can also call me Taos Daddy. Yeah. So, like he rightfully said, everyone, we should all understand everyone is an actor and actress. That's one thing. And we all have a role to play.
In the stage of
because
life.
As we sit here right now, I am a panelist or an audience, and you are a host. When you go home, if you have a child, you're a mom.
Yes.
If you go to a church, you're a church member. You know, if you go to a school, you're a student. The same person playing different roles.
Characters.
So you realize that when the mom is in her life, maybe her mom is there to play that particular, character. So just play along sometimes. Sometimes when people are doing certain things, just understand they are acting, and that they have to, you have to act your part by playing along.
Perfect.
Definitely, no condition is permanent.
It will change. She may have to go back. Well, that's
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Who is the husband?
Who is he?
Yeah.
When you say who is he, what do you mean?
Like the husband she's married to?
Yes.
What is he supposed to do here? Who is he?
Who is he? Do we even know who we are for her to even know who her husband is?
Exactly. So once you don't know, you would always be in a mess.
And you're supposed to know.
You're supposed to know. Everybody's supposed to know.
So if I find a man I want to marry, I have to come to
First, know who you are. Who you are is a combination of the day you were born, which is your krada, the element you operate in, because your strongest suit. Everybody operates in either water, fire, earth, air. So you need to know this. And the family tree you're coming from. These three things tells you who you are.
Okay, so in which element do I operate from?
So,
fire, water, earth?
So you have to know that. But when you come, of course, we'll help you know that.
I would love to know that. Yes, Ya is still there in the confession booth. And Ya?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Have you been helped by this conversation?
Yes, please.
You have?
To some extent.
What do you think you're going to do going forward? Are you going to seek another divination and release your mother-in-law if you are responsible?
I'm thinking of telling my husband about it.
So that you can both find a solution.
Don't make that mistake. What I will jump in and say, don't make that mistake. Because up to date, you still don't know exactly what is going on with your mother-in-law.
whether you are even responsible or not.
So let's find out what is actually happening. Once we know what is happening, we can take the right steps from there.
Perfect. We're wrapping up this wonderful edition of Confessions, and I would want to take your last words, Osofo Kojo Benso, and let us know where you're supposed to be found if anybody needs your assistance.
We are on all social media handles. The name is Mekra. M-E-K-R-A.
Like Mekra.
Mekra. Yokra.
Yes.
And my final words will be, it's your responsibility to know who you are and why you're here.
It is your responsibility. Know who you are, why you are here, the people you will need on this journey. And I told you that if you go out there seeking for revenge, the karma bars is always on time. My name is Miss Nancy. This has been Confessions. Thank you.